I've been a big fan of Hollow Knight for a very long time, almost 50 years, and I've seen pretty much every ridiculous phase we've gone through during the wait for Silksong. The sacrifices, the copium, and even the Great Piss War. It's pretty safe to say Hollow Knight doesn't have a normal game community, which is mainly due to Team Cherry's silence, but I still think for the most part it's a nice and creative place. There are some seriously talented creators, artists, and modders that have all collectively eased the way for Silksong, but something very annoying regarding the Silksong YouTube scene has been bothering me for quite a while now. Something I like to call Silkslop. In theory, there really shouldn't be much Silksong content on YouTube, seeing as the game's not out yet and there's hardly any news, yet there is a lot, and not much of it is good. Now I'm not talking about Mustbag or daily Silksong news here, and I'm also not really talking about anyone in specific. The problem is a collective effort from tons of people making these boring Silksong speculation and information videos. There is an abysmal amount of Silksong content with a title something along the lines of why Silksong isn't out, or why Silksong is coming soon, or where is Silksong, and I've given this little genre the title Silkslop. Though I really shouldn't say little, as the videos are so widespread that Daily Dose of Internet made one of them on his second channel. If you've been a part of this community for any amount of time longer than 7 zeptoseconds, I can almost guarantee you've seen at least a few of these videos, and most likely thought nothing of them, as they aren't exactly harmful on a surface level, but I'll get to why I think they are in a bit. I'm not just here to take a big steaming shit on all these creators like my uncle did in my bed 6 years ago, as most people making Silkslop would probably have their own unique view on the situation, and offer a new perspective.
And it might be like a snowball effect in that regard, causing Silksong to inflate larger than anything ever before seen.
Team Cherry are simply taking on too much work for themselves and have allowed the game to grow to a point where they don't know when to stop.
But when they add and add and add some more into the game, it gets to be a lot for them.
They probably have no idea when to stop.
I take that back. I know I said I wouldn't mention any one person, but one specific video caught my attention, as it's essentially the perfect example of what peak Silkslop looks like. It's an extremely obvious rage bait title, no one cares about Silksong, and it clearly worked. Now before I go into this a little more, guess how many whoosh sound effects are in this 4-minute video? That's 4.1 whooshes a second, by the way. Truly saving my attention span. The creator himself states that it's just a throwaway video, which is pretty understandable and not exactly a bad thing to do, so flaming him too hard is just unnecessary. I'm also about to mention another specific person, though it's for a different reason, as their content isn't exactly Silkslop. The person I'm talking about here is Pookie Bear Primacon. Primacon mainly posts news updates when there is some, or whatever the hell these videos are.
This is the month where we're gonna filter out the weak, only the strongest shall remain. This is when a man's fate is tested. Ari Gibson, are you really being tested if you're still in April 2024? My dreams.
The reason I'm bringing him up is because he's incidentally a great representation of why Silksong exists, as his content is super reflective of the extremely desperate state the community is in right now because of the silence. He uploads Silksong videos daily, which is something that shouldn't be possible unless you're DSSN, but he somehow still does it with each video having more copium than the last. This dude's milking Silksong so hard right now that he accidentally reincarnated the 5-year-old Milk Song meme and gave it a completely new meaning. A power move if I've ever seen one. He also made a full Hollow Knight Smash or Pass video. 3 times. Maybe I'm just jealous of his inhuman ability to consistently make solo daily content. And also wish he was my dad.
Not your dad.
Just to clear things up, I don't have any problem with Primacon or his videos because most of them aren't Silkslop, and the ones that are still entertaining because, well, he actually has a personality. He's just got that zest.
Smash.
I know it's glazing at this point, but I'm not gonna lie, his music box theory is probably one of the coolest and smartest things I've seen come from this community, at least since the Team Scary theory. Another interesting thing I've found about Silksong content in general is that it seems to be a sort of ecosystem. Just look at this clip of Primacon talking about a theory Raylia had that he agreed with.
He made this video yesterday, which he was talking about his theory, which pretty much matched my theory.
And now take a look at who Raylia got that theory from.
I'm not gonna lie, I actually saw Primacon talk about this on his video that I saw yesterday.
These 2 videos were also uploaded within 24 hours of each other, so I think at this point it's pretty likely that Raylia and Primacon have linked their consciousnesses, but that requires a level of wizardry you'd only expect in people like Einstein and Shaq. A lot of you are probably watching this and thinking, okay, but why doesn't this loser just ignore the videos? They don't hurt anyone and are helpful for new people. And that is true. Ignoring negative things is probably the best advice you can hear to get rid of small issues like this and taxes. And the videos are objectively helpful, but 1 or 2 of them is good enough, and the real problem lies in the amount of these videos. The only reason there's so much of it in the first place is because of the community's desperation, and some creators have realized this demand for anything Silksong related, so they just pump out what is essentially a low effort summary of a summary of a summary, nothing new or original ever being said. The Silkslop situation is a great example of the sad state of YouTube as well, where manipulating a depressed and news-depraved community is one of the most efficient ways to gain views and subs, while smaller YouTubers with original and well-made content get little to no reception. Like my lasers video.
Stop twerking! What? It's Squid Game!
I don't want someone that's made one of these videos to watch this and feel bad, even though that's kind of hypocritical because I've admittedly been a little harsh. My original plan to prevent this was by editing in an hour of Bhutanese monastery ambience after everything negative I've said. Though I feared it would get a little boring. Realistically, the people that have made Silkslop videos are probably unaware that it's even a thing, which you can't blame them for. And even if that's not the case, simply wanting to take advantage of a trend isn't a messed up thing to do at all. The majority of my anger here is directed at YouTube itself of fostering the system and letting it thrive. At the end of the day, us content creators are all serfs, and YouTube is our eternal, immutable king. Also, another reason I chose to make this video is because I thought it would be nice to make something Silksong related around this time, seeing as the game's going to shadow drop in 8 days.